And compatriots in health. I hope you're doing wonderful today. This video is going to be slightly different than some of the past videos. Yes, it's starting out the same, me as a talking head. But I had a good friend pass this past Tuesday, very unexpectedly. I'm going to do a tribute to her on the next video. Give me a little more time to get it ready. And I've got some stuff I'm going to tell you at the end to explain a lot of this. But while I was looking for photos, I've been a professional photographer for 15 years in our Republican circles here. So when somebody passes, the call always goes to me to provide photos. Well, I was looking through my photos and I came across a old video that I had made on one of my other weight loss journeys. This happened to be one with a multi-level marketing group called Herbalife. And Brandon was the young man that got me involved. So you'll hear me referencing him. I still think very highly of him, even though we haven't really been in contact much since I stopped purchasing the products. I do see that he graduated from college. I follow him on Instagram and see him on Facebook once in a while. But no hard feelings towards Brandon, but this is probably the first video I ever made using photographs and then talking. I didn't have a tripod, or I didn't use it at the time, so it's a little bit shaky. It's pictures of my life, some not so pleasant ones, and it kind of goes over what happened to me this past week. Was the 6-year anniversary of my near-death experience. So that is mentioned in here. Of course, this was about 2.5 years after it. If I remember the date correctly, it was uploaded on December the 6th of 2017. So that was just about 2 years and 4 months after 1 year and 4 months after I'd had the stroke. And then today would be 6 years exactly the day I got out of the hospital. So I'm going to try to pause this, turn the camera around. I'm looking at the back of the camera. I hope it's still recording. And then I'm going to let the video play on my computer and let the sound pick up. That's why you may notice I don't have any earbuds in. And once this pre-recorded thing runs, there's nothing copyrighted in it, so it's safe to put on YouTube. All the pictures belong to me. And then if you like this, let me know. I will do a same kind of montage about Sheila, where I'll have the camera facing the computer and pictures will be rotating about her, and then I'll be talking from the back. And then when this one that I already have pre-recorded ends, I will turn the camera back around. Good morning, challenge participants. I'm going to do this intro video a little bit differently than most of you do. If you've read my post or heard Brandon mention me in his live feeds, you'll realize I'm a photographer. So I thought I'd start with a photo of some of my most famous clients. I don't always do old stuffy politicians, so this was a great day when I got to photograph a couple of the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders. They had come out to help raise funds for the 5 officers that were killed in Dallas about a year ago. I wanted to start my story on today, which is a big anniversary for me, and I will explain that in a couple of days. In a couple of pictures. But I realized I have to go back a little bit further than 28 months so that you know what precipitated the event 28 months ago. So I'm going to start with about 4 years ago when I worked for the Rangers, and I met a man there who was a New York Times best-selling author. And he actually convinced me that if I paid him to be my consultant, I could get enough money out of this house to fund my retirement. Well, we bought the house. I paid him up front a significant fee for me. Long story short, this house almost killed me, and I lost about $50,000 in the process. But that gets me up to today, the 28-month anniversary of having a major stroke. So here is probably the worst picture ever taken of me.
friends came in, and I don't know if I was asleep or just groggy, but this is in ICU at JPS Hospital on August the 6th, 2015, with a stroke that should have killed me. This is maybe the next day when I've recovered a little bit, and my good friend Esteban had gone and picked up my phone so that I wasn't going completely slap crazy. I guess I was
I'm going to stop it there for a second. This picture just popped up on my Facebook yesterday in the memories and said it was the most commented picture I had in 2015 on my personal Facebook page. So now back to the video.
Destined to be a member at Planet Fitness because I already had the thumbs up sign going. So the doctors had called my parents and actually stated that 98% of the people with this severe of a stroke never make it to the hospital, and the 2% that do generally come in as a vegetable and leave as a vegetable. So this photo is the day before my release when I'm in the step-down unit, and Felicia, my friend who I had been on the mission field in the Czech Republic with, came by to visit me. And then this is Esteban, who would not leave my room when I was in ICU until the doctors declared that I was stable and recovering. And then on this side is Representative Zedler, who I was actually on the phone with when I started having the stroke, and bless his heart, he recognized it, drove to my house. I could not get up off the floor. Yes, I had made it all the way to the floor by the time he got there. And he called 911. They kicked in my door. Luckily, they got me up and out to the hospital and got a $11,000 shot into me that...
Let me pause it again. Look at that food on my tray table. A can of Dr. Pepper, some orange stuff I hadn't eaten, and I don't even know what the main meal was. There may be a picture later. I think that's a banana over on the other side. No wonder my triglycerides went up from the day I had the stroke until the day I was released. I also remember having a friend go down to the McDonald's that was in the first floor of the hospital to buy me a double cheeseburger and a Dr. Pepper, because I was a Dr. Pepper addict back then. So I should have learned right then and there that the medical facility, the structure of medicine in this country was not to get you healthy when they're allowing you to have that in the hospital after you almost died from a stroke. So yes, Esteban on the left, who a very good friend. He was the one who brought me the phone in the earlier picture. He went to my house and recovered it. And then Representative Zedler on the right that actually saved my life. I might go into that, but back to the video.
Fortunately, busted up the clot, got oxygen back to my brain, and set me on the road to recovery. I spent 4 nights in the hospital. That's 4 more nights than I've spent in the hospital the rest of my life. I was 50 years old at the time that this happened, and it really set me for a loop. Of course, the doctor said that I had 0 deficits when I left, but I have realized over the last 2 years and 4 months that that may or may not have actually been 100% true.
1 year and 4 months.
In my mind, excuse me, I felt that I had some deficits because I was paralyzed completely on my left side for probably 4 or 5 hours, even though I don't remember most of my stay in the hospital. This is after a friend broke me out, so to speak, on Sunday, and I don't remember what day that was, but as you can see, I like to talk on the phone. I'm not much of a texter, and I'm definitely not much of a typer. But the phone, once I got it, didn't stay silent for long. So that happened exactly 2 years and 4 months ago today that I went in the hospital. So I guess 4 days from today is when I got out. Then the next year, I was back working. I do political photography generally, Once in a while I get the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders or a movie star or a TV star or something like that. But this is at the Republican Party of Texas State Convention, which was, I think, in March of 2016, so about a year after the stroke. And it's pretty awesome for the Attorney General of a state the size of Texas to, when he sees you walking down the aisle, to call you by name and ask about your health. He actually even called me while I was in the hospital, as did Congressman Roger Williams, who represents everything from Cleburne to down south of Austin. Camp Gladiator was one of the presenters at the state convention, and I did briefly speak with them there, but I was too busy taking pictures to really go back to the exhibit hall and socialize. So here, this is probably 1 year after the stroke. I go out to breakfast the next morning after the convention at Old South Pancake House, right down the street from TCU, and there's a whole herd of their trainers in there. So this fellow's name is Seamus, and he's a trainer out of Houston. But he, like Brandon, is a heart of gold and let his breakfast get cold to sit down and explain to me how the program works. So I signed up for a month for their total transformation. And then lo and behold, the next day I started at a evening class and ran into a good friend I hadn't seen in years named Star. You can see it was a little sweaty then, so within the first week I decided, I got a little lightheaded a few of the sessions. So I think one of the partners I was training with said, "Has your doctor approved you being here?" I said, I never even thought to ask. Maybe I should. She's like, "Yeah, I think you should." So I sent my doctor an email, told her all about the program, told her how excited I was to get it, and that she'd approved me to exercise, so I was out exercising. Well, that was a no-go. I was cleared to do it as long as I went to the classes before sunrise. So there I am at a 5 a.m. class in a church parking lot when it was nice and cool, so to speak, in the middle of, I think, August. It's never cool in August, but it is cooler at 5 a.m. So this is my trainer with Camp Gladiator, a lady named Meredith Robles, who has quite a story herself, but just like all the other trainers in my life, she's an awesome lady, heart of gold, would do anything she can to help you be healthy, just like our great trainer, Brandon, in this group. So there you have my total transformation after, I think, 1 month of body weight exercises in parking lots at 5 a.m., which was actually pretty impressive. I think on the right, I may have actually been just under 200 pounds, which was probably a low for me in quite some time. But I tried to duplicate the picture as exactly as I could to the before picture, even though it's in a different location. And then almost 1 year ago, I think it was December 1st, 2016, Representative Zedler, here again on the right, took me to a dinner he was invited to, and it happened to have Kevin Sorbo speaking. You may know him as Hercules from the TV show, but I'd say most people in this group are probably a little too young to know about that TV series, because I think it was on when I was a child. But Kevin was extremely fit at the time, and you could see him on Netflix, but I think they've taken him off now. It was a 6 or 7 series run, and why I had to have a picture with him was from the stage he announced that between season 1 and season 2 he had 3 simultaneous strokes. Probably should have killed him also, but he ended up driving home before he realized it, which is a big risk with strokes, as most people don't get treatment quick enough. So it was amazing that I got treatment and was able to overcome those odds. Here's a picture of Senator Cruz, Representative Zedler, and myself before Senator Cruz ever announced he was running for president, so probably 3 to 4 years ago. Pre-stroke, I'm going to say. Yeah, definitely pre-stroke. As you can see, I'm a little bit thinner there. And then here's one of us the night we met Kevin Sorbo. You can see it looks like Senator Cruz and I are in a challenge to see who can get the biggest belly the quickest. So, not a good challenge to be in. And then I get to now. Brandon, what can we say about Brandon? I mean, he already should know that he's awesome and that he's a great trainer, a great person, and I'm hoping to find out as a great friend. This picture is kind of embarrassing because I look like the Pillsbury Doughboy standing next to him. He's all fit and trim and always smiling and helpful, and he's got the thumbs up thing going, and I forgot about it. But very glad I met him, I'd say. At this point, I was probably about 244 pounds. And then the day the challenge started, I was 239. And this morning, I was 232. So I'm trending in the right direction. And I'm just going to call him my next miracle worker. Since, like I mentioned, the doctors declared that I had no deficits when I left the hospital. But what doctors can't see is your mental state. So yes, I was alive. Yes, I was a miracle. Yes, I was functioning, and everybody could see that Chip was quote-unquote healthy. But what they couldn't see was the fear inside of Chip to use his left arm or his left side, because in my mind I didn't feel it was strong enough or as strong as it used to be. So I give Brandon credit for getting me into this challenge. And since I live so far away, he's not always there to work out with or guide me. In fact, none of y'all are. You're all very far away from me. So the first day of the challenge, I had to do it all by myself. Well, what I don't even think he knew was that was the first day since the stroke that I had done a workout without supervision from a trained fitness professional, either a certified personal trainer or a doctor of physical therapy. I mean, obviously I had quote-unquote worked out. I had walked, and I had swam, and I'd walked in a pool, but never anything as strenuous as the workouts in this program are. So I give credit to Brandon for bringing me back into the life of the living, because now I know that even though I thought my arm was weaker, it really isn't. I just have to take some precautions on shoulders and chest day, because when my left arm was paralyzed, apparently the rotator cuff was injured to some extent. So, well, that was on my TIA on February 20th, 2017. So anyway, thank you all for accepting me. Thank you for supporting me. I hope I'm a blessing to you. In fact, I'm still trying to figure out why I'm the one that's still alive when others are not, and why I am basically perfectly healthy when there's no scientific or logical reason that I should be. I just have to say God's not finished with me yet, and hopefully that transfers to some of y'all and that I have some kind of an effect on your life.
Okay, I'm back now. Sorry about all the wobbles in there. I don't know why. I guess I didn't have it on a tripod because I didn't have this extra little piece that I have now. And there's no hole to screw a phone to a tripod, so you need this adapter, which I did buy when I started doing YouTube. So I'm glad also that I don't cough like that anymore. And I did overspeak in there once, said it was 1 year and 6 months, but then when I saw the date on the end, it If it was actually December of 2017, which I told you at the beginning, that would have been 2 years and 4 months. And this year is now 6 years total since the stroke. So I call them extra innings. And I'm glad you met me in extra innings if you didn't know me before all this nonsense. I think I've had probably 3 major weight loss episodes since the stroke. And then I gained it all back, lost it again. And of course, you saw them in there. The Camp Gladiator series, I got, well, I don't want to say I got fit. I lost weight rather well. Yeah, getting up at 5:30 in the morning and doing an hour of exercise outside in the Texas heat is going to make you lose weight. And then with the Herbalife protein shakes and bars and all, and then working out with this program that Brandon put together, I probably did get under 200 again. So I'm still not quite at my lowest since the stroke, but I will be by the end of this year because I don't see any going back from the way of eating that I'm doing. Now that I've been doing it for a couple of years, I should probably share my goal and my victory from this past week. I told you, one victory is surviving for 6 years after a stroke that should have killed me, which it did kill 98% of the people that have that severe of a stroke. So I'm already in a very fortunate minority. But I got, as I was going back through old stuff, my goal, which I said to my accountability group 2 weeks ago, was to be back at the weight of the first weigh-in of a follow-up after I had the stroke, which was 210 pounds. That would have been today, 6 years after I got out of the hospital. So today is the 9th of August, 2021. So I must have gotten out the 9th of August, 9th or 10th of August, 2015. And then I got hired by the city of Fort Worth, August of 2018. And I went for my first physical, February, of 2019. So yeah, I just had my third one. And that physical had me at 258 pounds. So I'm already down 48 pounds since I began keto and then transitioned to carnivore, which was probably shortly after that first physical. So in about 2 years, I'm down right at almost 50 pounds. Maybe I'll make my video next week that I am down 50 pounds, and that can be the headline, but I want to honor Sheila more next week than myself. So let me tell you, but I still have 25 pounds to go. I need to get down to 185. So let's add up. 48 plus 25 is 68, 73. So I could have been CP 73 fit since I put 59. That was when I started this program with Brandon. I was 59 pounds over my ideal weight. When I started with the city of Fort Worth, I was, what was that number? 73 pounds overweight. So now that I'm down 48, 2/3 of the way to the goal weight, which is my ideal weight, which will put me in the normal range of BMI. I started in obese, now I'm overweight, and ultimately next year, 2022, is the year of normal, which I saw a meme one time on Facebook that the little girl asked her mother, "Mommy, what is normal?" She said, "Honey, it's just a setting on the dryer." So anyway, don't know where that fits in, but I did want to tell you a little bit about what I'm going to do to the channel over the next probably 5 or 6 weeks. I told you I'd canceled my 30-day challenge to myself in the month of August because I didn't want to have to do a video. Well, it's not that I didn't want to have to do a video every day. I'd already made several. So what I'm going to do right from here going forward, it's going to take 4 or 5 weeks, is next week, Monday, I'm going to post the tribute to Sheila and probably celebrate my 50-pound weight loss, or maybe that'll be the next week. We'll see when I actually hit it. And it'll be a video similar to this where I have videos on the screen and I'll be talking in the background, but it'll be on a tripod, so you won't be feeling like you're on a boat in a rough water when you're watching it. And then for the next 3 or 4 weeks, however many I have, I'm going to go ahead and post the daily videos I made. I know I have at least 3. And while that month is going on, I'm going to work on getting my whatever I have at my house unpacked and get rid of a great majority of it. And I'm also going to learn how to edit video, so when I come back in a month, my video should be much better. And then I really appreciate those of you who are hitting the playlist, either when you go to sleep or when you go to work or whatever, because I've had 500 hours of views in the last 28 days. Yoo-hoo! There's another 2 thumbs up for that. That is amazing. Because I need 4,000 to get monetized. 4,000 hours of views and 1,000 subscribers. So you can see my subscriber count is low. So if you hit that thumbs up button, also hit that subscribe thing, which is in, let me see, I think this corner, little red, white, and blue thing. We need to get up to 100 subscribers and then 1,000 subscribers. And we're going to do that by the end of the year. And at this pace, if I'm only getting 5,000 hours every 28 days, that's going to take almost 8 weeks. So I'll be a little bit past the end of the year. So let's try to pick up the pace on that. And I appreciate your help. Just turn on the channel. But you can go to the name down below, CP59Fit. Click on that. It'll take you to my channel page. You can click on playlist, and there's 2 that are rather long. There's the latest 15 videos, and then there's the binge list, which has about 40 videos. So if you click on either of those, it'll help you let it run for anywhere from 5 to 8 hours, and I would appreciate that and love you immensely for that. And remember, the next 2 or 3 weeks, the content is current, but it won't be immediately current because I have made them maybe 2 weeks or 5 weeks from when they're actually published. So I'm going to try to get this one edited. It's going to be a little bit late tonight because I try to have them published at 5:15, and it looks like it is almost 5:45 now, and I still have to upload it, edit it, make a thumbnail, do the description, and get it live. So it'll probably be 6:15 or 6:30 tonight. But had a lot to cover. Thank you for your time. I am so glad you're along for this ride. Appreciate all the likes, comments, everything. I'll talk to you in the comments real soon. Oh, one other thing I'm going to try to do. So I'm going to try to get all those published at 5:15 on Monday. And then I will be available for the first hour to immediately answer your comments so we can have a dialogue going on. So for the next 4 weeks at least, those videos are going up at 5:15 on Monday. And I will be watching the comment section from 5:15 to 6:15. Unless I have to go to work or something. We are short-staffed, and my boss is out of town for 2 weeks, so I don't know. But most likely I will be there, and I will be answering your comments as soon as you put them up. So hopefully that'll generate some interest of people talking to me. Or you can always find me at CP59Fit on Facebook or Instagram. Thank you. Here's to at least 6 more extra innings, but let's hope it's closer to maybe 50. So anyway, y'all have a great night. Love you. Bye-bye.